Hi Flosstube, my name is Laura and welcome to my channel, Loves Rubber Stamps and Needle Crafts. Today is Tuesday, October 22nd, and I'm here for my Flosstube update. I can't remember what number it will be, I think maybe 34, but I'll have it in the title for you for sure. In today's video, I am going to share with you the whips I've worked on since my last video and also have a recap for you of the FarmGirl Gatherings retreat in Amana. My mom, my sister Lindsay, and I were able to attend that. I believe it was last week, about a week and a half ago. It was I think it was like the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th. We had a lot of fun. The designer was Teresa with Shakespeare's Peddler or Kitten Stitcher, and she did a gorgeous retreat piece for us, and we just had a ton of fun. So I'll recap that after my whips for you. Trying to think. Not much on the home front for a life update. I've been on vacation and I have to go back to work on November 2nd, which is coming way too fast for my liking. I'm hoping outside of the retreat, don't really have much plans. My husband still has to work, so I'm just trying to get caught up on some household stuff that gets neglected, you know, kind of do some deep cleaning, some purging. Want to get my craft room down here organized. That's a big goal for me. At least try to make it so it's usable again, because I have so much stuff everywhere from when it flooded in this summer. Early spring, our basement flooded because my craft room's in the basement, and we just got so much rain, and we had water coming into our basement for over 2 weeks. And when my husband was trying to reroute one of the pumps to the other floor drain, it popped out or something and ended up flooding our basement, and water got into my craft room. So we hurried, and luckily not a whole lot of stuff was damaged, just mainly stuff on this side of the room that I had on the floor, because that's where the door is, and that's where the water was mostly. It did come about halfway into my room with just a smidge of water. So basically it's stuff that was on the floor in boxes. Some boxes got wet. I had to throw a few things away, a few books, mostly like some ribbons and things of that nature. I didn't lose any of my patterns. I didn't lose any, fabrics or anything like that. So all my whips were fine, because they're all, that stuff's kind of on this side of the room, and the water didn't get that far. So that was pretty lucky. So right now it's just a disaster with, we pulled everything up off the floors and kind of shoved it in boxes, and it's still a mess. So that's one of my goals to work on vacation. What else? I think that's it. So we will go ahead and get started. I will first go through my whips that I've worked on, and then after whips, I'll talk about the retreat. And I do have some pictures of Teresa's models from her pop-up shop, and some pictures. We always do a smalls exchange where people that want to participate stitch a small, and we do an exchange. So I'll share what I got and what I stitched for it. So we'll go ahead and get started. So my whips will be in no particular order, just kind of how I threw them on the pile here. So the very first whip is the one that I worked on at retreat, and it is Heartstring Samplery Scary Sampler. If you can't read that, it says, "I will die here where I have walked, and I will walk here though I am in my grave." And kind of the neat thing with this one is Beth, on the back of the front cover, she kind of told you what all of her inspiration was for each of the different motifs that she picked, and like the saying, and she took a lot of inspiration from different sci-fi movies, scary movies, books, things like that. So that's kind of cool. And I'll insert a picture of where I was at the last time you saw it. And here's where I'm at currently. So not a ton of progress, but I was at retreat, so you don't usually get a lot of stitching at retreats because you're busy talking and walking around and doing stuff. So this is being stitched on a 32 count Proserpina, I can't ever say it, from Under the Sea Fabrics. It was one of their Fabric of the Month pieces, and that is where I'm at. Now this one I'm stitching with the called for threads, and the model was, the pattern calls for it, and the model was stitched on a 32 count, which is what this count is, but they only used one strand of floss on 32 count. And normally I use 2 strands, so it's a little bit more sparse than I like for coverage. And I'm finding that I feel like the mossy doesn't stand out as much. It's standing out more on camera than it does like if I look at it. And I feel like from far away you might lose it. So I'm debating on switching to stitching this 2/2 like I normally would. And I'm thinking what I might do is just go over the stitches I've already done with another thread, and then as I continue then switch to 2/2. But I might kind of do a test strip, do the test and see if that will work, because I really don't want to pull everything out. So until I decide how I want to stitch that, I probably won't work on it again until I make up my mind on if I can live with that coverage or if I want to try the 2/2. I'll show you this since I have it out in I'm using it. This is the project bag this is in. This is the back. It's by Pinky Promises on Etsy. And the inside just has skeletons. And this little zipper pull is part of my haul from retreat. In the pop-up shop, they had little 2 packs of zipper pulls. The other one that came with this one was a little pumpkin head, which I'll show you in my haul part, that I'm gonna put on a different project bag. But I wanted to show you this while I have the bag here, because I got to sit by Suzette, the primitive stitcher, at retreat. She sat right next to me, and I ended up winning her smalls gift for the smalls exchange. And one of the things that she included was one of her floss project keepers. So this is one that I had purchased from Suzette at a different retreat that we were at together, because she used to make these and sell them along with her cross-stitch journals. She'd sold them on a Facebook group, and then she'd sell them at retreats when she'd come. So this was one that I'd already had that she had made, and I have my floss in it for this. So I wanted to show you what it looked like with floss in there. It just has 10 floss away bags and nice covers that she created, and then it's got some index cards at the beginning. You can write the project date that your threads are for. So I wanted to show you what one looked like being used, since I got one with my small in my smalls exchange. The next whip I have is called The Fortunate Traveler by Teresa Wentzler, And this one is my large focus whip at the moment. I don't have a printed out cover photo, so I'll have to insert a picture of what it will look like finished here. Here's a picture of where I was at last time you saw it. And here's where I'm at currently. So since last time, I just kind of worked on this side of the border and got all the cross stitching part done, and then started on the back stitch webbing pattern. And I got all the first layer done down to here to match the other side. And then I started on the second layer and just got a little bit in the middle. And this is being stitched on a 28 count cream Cashel linen, which is the called for. And I used to have this on a scroll rod, and the scroll rod I had was one of those where you have to use the hook, and it's kind of like Velcro. And so this is the teethy part, and it keeps snagging on. When I try to fold it, it snags sometimes on my thread, like some of my stitching, and I can tell where it keeps snagging because it's making some of my threads look a little bit fuzzy. So I need to cut that off and probably serge it on my sewing machine once I can access it after my room's clean. So I have to kind of be careful with that one. My next whip lives in my project bag that I got from Donna, my friend Donna. She goes to the retreats. She's so sweet. But she is stitching in the She Shack with Donna here on Flosstube. Look at those cute little cows. She also has a Etsy store where she sells her bags in there, which I'll link in the description box. But this one is a Christmas ornament I'm stitching for my sister Lindsay, and I already showed it to her so far because I'm one of those people that when I buy a Christmas gift or something, like I'll wrap it and then I can't wait to give it to people, and I'm like, oh, you want to see what you got for Christmas? You know, I give it to them like 5 minutes after I wrap it. But anyway, so I couldn't wait. I had to show her while we're at retreat. But the one I'm stitching for her, she loves dragons. So I'm stitching this one called Santa's Unexpected Gift, and it's from Dragon Dreams. And this is in the 2006 ornament issue, if I didn't mention that. Here is where I'm at currently. So this one's almost done. I'm stitching this one on a 28 count Sage Khaki even weave. So I did make a couple of changes. I changed the color of the dragon to purple because that's Lindsay's favorite color. And I also stitched the dragon and Santa's face 1/1. And so really all I have left is to finish his trim on his jacket, and it's with that fuzzy stuff, which it's very pretty. It makes it fuzzy and it's got sparkle, but it is not fun to stitch with. So I've been alternating between doing a thread length of the whisper or the fuzzy stuff and then working on some back stitching. So I've got the glove and the dragon all back stitched. The dragon egg is in Krynic, which is also sparkly, which never shows up on camera. The other change I'm going to do is I'm going to add some red beads in his garland on his head for the berries. So that's where I'm at. So hopefully I'll get that finished here before my next video, and then I'll have a ornament stitch for each of my siblings, so I should be able to fully finish those and hopefully give them to them for Christmas this year. I've been horrible about getting them done. I have been averaging like one a year for like the last 4 years. It's ridiculous. The next project I worked on is my temperature tree. This one is by Stitchin Mommy, and so I will insert a picture of what it will look like roughly finished here. And I'll insert a picture of where I was at last time you saw it. And here's where I'm at currently. So this is being stitched 1/1 on 40 count River Rock by Color and Cotton. And I only have 2 branches left. So I did change the thread color for the trunk. I'm using, it's called Black Walnut by Color and Cotton. And I did add some blending filament to this leaf here, which is February 14th, because I'm stitching this for our 25th wedding anniversary, which was a couple years ago. So I wanted our anniversary date to be a little special. So hopefully this one will be done before too long. This is the one I'm considering my kind of small focus piece. So try to stitch on it pretty regularly until it's finished, and then I'll swap either a new start in or another whip in its place once I get it done to focus on. And sorry, I have to put these back in their bags so that I don't have a mess. I have this in my project bag from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, Olivia, that I bought from her Etsy store. The next project that I worked on since last time was my Raise the Roof Sweet Tooth. I think he's hilarious. I love his mouth full of candy and his one tooth. That's how I feel when I eat candy. And I'll insert a picture of where I was at the last time you saw it. And here's where I've gotten to. So this is being stitched on a 28 count Monaco fabric that I dyed myself using a chalkboard technique. I really love how the chalkboard turns out on Monaco. It's really nice. But pretty much I've just been working on doing the outline of the pumpkin and then filling it. I've filled in a few sections with a color I chose. I'm picking just colors from my stash, but I'm trying to keep it kind of true to the pattern that it calls for. This inside color I'm using is from Color and Cotton called Primitive Pumpkin. I can't remember what the one I'm using for the outside edge is, but my needle minder I got from Mad for Minders on Etsy. But this one's gonna be a lot of fill-in, obviously, once I get his whole outline done. That giant mouth. It's gonna be a lot of black stitches. But I have that one in my project bag that my sister Lindsay made for me. I love her bags because she embroidered a sunflower on the back, but they're a little bit bigger, so her bags measure about 14 by 14. So it allows you to, like this is an 11 by 11 Q-snap, and you can fit your Q-snap in there perfectly. And it has, so zips up and fits in there perfect. So I love that size bag that she makes. And I believe she's got some bags made that she's gonna try to start selling some of her bags that she makes. So she's actually coming over tomorrow, and we're going to do a special video that talks about her project bags and how you can purchase them if you're interested, and we'll show the ones that she has available. So be sure to watch for that special video that hopefully will be posted either tomorrow or maybe Thursday, depending on how fast the upload goes. So be watching for that. The next project I worked on is my current full coverage piece that is my focus at the moment. It's Dog Double Shelf by Randall Spangler, charted by Heaven and Earth. So I'll insert a picture of what it will look like finished here. And I'm not going to insert a picture of where I was at because I've only worked on it one time. So I can kind of tell you where I'm at or what I stitched on. So here's where I'm at currently. And this was at 10% when I started, roughly like 10 or 10.01. So I'm trying to finish this page here, which is kind of just the tip of his paw, is all I have left to finish this page. So I just picked a color, and it was a brown color. And then I just kind of worked it along his little body until I ran pretty much out of floss, or ran out of where I was going to have to count a ways. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm picking a color and I just kind of stitch it where it goes in the chart until my thread runs out, or they get more scattered. So this is being stitched on a 28 count white Monaco. No, white lugana, 28 count white lugana 1/1. My other full coverage piece that is one of my focus whips is my King Coda Story Teller by Aimee Stewart, and is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So I'll insert a picture of what that will look like finished here. And I'll insert a picture of where I was at the last time you saw it. And here's where I'm at currently. So when I finished up the rotation on this one, I stitched it to, this one is giant, so this is a supersize max color version of the chart. So I did get a page finish over here. So now I have 7 full pages done. And I just kind of started working in the next page, because when I picked this up, I tried to stitch it to a 0.5% on Pattern Keeper, which because this is a supersized chart, it's still, you know, like 4,000 stitches or something that I have to do just to get a 0.5%. So it's a lot of stitches. So it took me quite a while to get this done. So this row is going to be kind of boring because it's going to be a lot of black, and kind of the space between the tapestry here and the pillow. When I get over here, that's where the little chipmunk is, so that page will be fun, but for the most part it's going to be a lot of black stitching, so it should go hopefully kind of quick, but also be pretty boring. So once I get that boring part done, I think that, I mean, all the other pages have things you're actually working on, so I think it'll be kind of fun. One more whip. And this one is it's out of the Paula Vaughn's Quilts for All Seasons book. And the one I'm stitching, my page fell out, but I'm stitching the November quilt. And after I finished my Milady Strawberries, I think in my last video I was gonna sub in the Chalk Art Winter to take its place, but this one was from the same year, because I'm trying to focus on some of my older whips, have them as a focus to get some of my older whips knocked out. But this was from the same year as the winter one, and so because it's kind of fall season right now, I wanted to stitch more on fall than winter right now, so I decided to do this one instead. So I will insert a picture of where it was at the last time you saw it. And here is where I'm at currently. So I'm super excited because I finally got all the stitching done in that quilt, which is like the most labor intensive part because it's like completely full of fractionals all over the place. Like fractionals all along here. Those are all fractional stitches. Fractionals to do all the points. This one always gets kind of washed out on this camera. It's more vibrant in person, but for some reason the light likes to wash this out. This is being stitched on a 32 count cream Belfast, which is the called for. I haven't done any of the back stitching in the quilt yet, but I'm really hoping that I think the rest of this pattern will go pretty quick now that this part's done. There's a lot of back stitching in there I have to do, but you have the cross stitch part of the wagon and some of the pumpkins, but the majority of like the sky and the grass and stuff is all half stitch. So I think it will go a lot faster now that I have that quilt finished. So I'm super excited about that. And like I said, that is one of my new focus whips. So I'll keep that in my rotation until I get it finished, and then I'll swap in one of my older whips to take its place once it's finished. So those are all of my whips that I've worked on since last time. So we will go ahead and talk about the Midwest. It used to be called the Midwest Cross Stitchers Retreat. Not anymore. It is now FarmGirl Gatherings. So like I mentioned, it was held in Amana, Iowa, and it was super fun. It was at the Millwright, which is where we always stay anyway. So it was right at our hotel. Michelle always puts on a amazing retreat. It's always a ton of fun. Food was great. Our room was great. Weather was perfect. It was just a ton of fun. It was great to see a lot of your friends that come back to the same retreats. It was good seeing them again in person, and there was a lot of new people there this time too, so it was fun to meet some new friends and see old stitchy friends. So their designer, like I mentioned in the beginning, was Teresa Kitten Stitcher, or Shakespeare's Peddler, and she designed an amazing kit. Our theme was Christmas this year, so she did a wonderful talk about her inspiration behind designing the retreat piece. And I could listen to her talk all day because she's hilarious. It was a really great talk about how, you know, when you're a kid, you always want all these things for Christmas, and you always ask your parents, you know, or what would you want for Christmas? And your parents are always like, peace on earth. And you're like, oh, that sucks, you know. But as you get older and you become an adult, then you are like, yeah, I do want peace on earth. So that was her inspiration behind the retreat piece. And so our kit came in this really pretty box, which that's what the design looks like. And here's our kit. So beautiful design. It came with the floss, fabric, all of that. You can't really tell, but this is Rudolph down here. He's got a little red nose. He's so cute. You know, and you could even stitch pieces of this if you wanted to. Like you could stitch this, make it into a pillow. This would be pretty as a drum, maybe. But yeah, very pretty. I love the colors in it. So gorgeous kit, and I'll insert a picture here of Teresa with the model that of the project. For our retreat gift from Michelle, we got a project bag. Let me take. So she bought the fabric, and everybody at the retreat got a project bag that was made by Goose. Denise was there, and she made all the project bags for Michelle. Michelle purchased the fabric, and then Goose sewed them up. And this is the one that I got. It has white on the back. I know some other ones had like a gray. It was the same design, but it had gray instead of white. So everybody at the retreat got a project bag. And then for the door prizes, I won a door prize, and the door prize that I won was a matching thread bed to my project bag. So the cool thing is, I won one of these. My sister Lindsay won one just like mine, and then my mom won one also. So we all three won a door prize, but Mom's thread bed was with the Santa fabric, and Lindsay and I's were with the same. So they match our bag perfectly. So that was pretty cool that we won a door prize and got that to go with our bags. And then on Friday nights, we did our smalls exchange. And the way that works is everybody gets a ticket. They put the other half of your ticket and they draw, so it's random on when you get to go up. And when it's your turn, you can either choose to steal an item that hasn't been stolen already from one that's already been opened, or you can open a gift on the table. So they're all wrapped, you don't know what it is. And some of the tickets on the back have an S, which that means if your ticket is called and it has an S on the back, you have to steal a project from, or steal a gift from someone that hasn't been stolen from already. So when it was my turn, I went up, I chose a gift. I didn't have a mandatory steal or anything, and I opened up it was a really pretty pillow that was done in like a really pretty red floss. It was a Primrose Cottage Quaker, like a winter Quaker. And the lady that finished it had it stuffed so it smelled very like cinnamon or cloves, so it was like scented. And that ended up getting stolen from me. So once you've been stolen from, you can either steal another item that hasn't been stolen already, or you can go pick a bag, and then whatever you open or whatever you steal is yours and nobody can take it from you. So after my gift was stolen from me, I was sitting next to Suzette, the primitive stitcher, and the small that she had made was the first thing that somebody opened, and no one had stole it. So it was still available to steal, and so I was a thief and I stole it because it was amazing. And so I will show you the gift that I ended up getting. So this was what I got in the exchange, and it's a drawer that Suzette distressed. I think it was probably with walnut stain, kind of a cream. And inside there was a sweet little note that tells what she stitched it on. So the design was it's called Antique Scissors and Spools. It's a Shakespeare's Peddler chart, and it was stitched on 36 count pie crust by Graham Cracker Fabrics, and she used NPI silk number 501. And then inside the drawer here were some goodies. So there was a needle minder that she made. There was this really cute scissor fob that has a Santa face. And then there was this really cute pair of scissors that are little tinies, but they have normal size holes for your fingers. And then she covered the bottom of the drawer with some scrapbook fabric. So I'm really surprised that this was available to be eligible to steal it, because this was amazing. So because somebody had stole from me, once I got this and nobody could take it. So yay, love it. And then in addition to this, Suzette had put another one of her floss away bag books in there. So that's why I showed you the one I was already using that I'd gotten from her at a different retreat. But this one is really pretty. Kind of has some distressed paper on the inside. So love that. And then since I didn't get to open the package, in the box it was tied with a ribbon around it, and on the ribbon there was a little snowman ornament for your tree that came with it too. So very cute. So the small that I stitched for my giveaway piece was by Crocette A Go-Go, and it was called Christmas Card, and I finished it into a tart pan. So first I will insert a picture of what my finish looked like here. And then I did make a little video to show it close up, so you can kind of see it a little better. And I think in that one too, I finished the one that my mom did. And so I think I share that in the video too. So I'll go ahead and insert that video here. Hello, just wanted to take some video of the projects that we're taking to the FarmGirl Gatherings Cross Stitch Retreat for our Smalls Exchange. This is the one that I stitched. It is Christmas Card by Crocette A Go-Go, and I finished it into a tart pan to sit on an easel. And here's kind of a closer look so you can see the ribbon for the trim. So the trim actually is about the same color as the bird's wings. This is just stitched in DMC. But it is a yarn bee Chanel yarn that I got at Hobby Lobby a couple years ago, and it has like a silver sparkle in it. I thought it was perfect to go around there. So, I think it turned out really pretty. And the fabric is opalescent also. 36 count. No, it's from Be Stitch Me. One more reproduction maybe. I'll say it for sure in my other video. But the other finish that I did was the one that my mom did. It's this Prairie Schooler Santa. I believe this is the 1988 Santa. And I just finished it on some mat board with some homespun, made a fabric button, and a hanger to hang on the tree. So I love how this turned out. That little Merry Christmas metal piece I got in, it was for scrapbooking. I've had it for several years. But I think it was really pretty, and I just covered the back with felt to give it a more finished look. Thought it was really pretty. All right, back to the regular video. So Mom obviously did the Prairie Schooler Santa. I'll insert a couple of pictures here of the finish a little bit close up so you can see a little better. And again, like I said, I finished it for her, and I was inspired by, I kind of searched because cute ways to finish Prairie Schooler Santas, and I had found where someone had done one similar to that. I can't remember their name, but that's where I got my inspiration. Was they used similar fabric, but they did theirs kind of diagonal, which probably would have been easier. And they had the twine and the fabric button, and then I added the metal piece that I had for my scrapbooking stuff. But I did get inspired by one I'd seen on Instagram, I believe. If I find the person that did theirs, I'll put it in the description box below so they get the credit. And then that one was I think it's the 1988 Prairie Schooler Santa. And then I'll insert a picture here of what Mom won for her small that she got to keep. That was a really cute, like, gnome on pear. And the funny thing is, Mom had her item stolen, so she had been eyeing that gnome, and my sister Lindsay actually had it, and Mom stole it from Lindsay so nobody could take her gnome away. So then Lindsay had to go up and pick another gift, and Lindsay loves Halloween, so hers was perfect. She picked out one that was a Halloween, in a Halloween bag, and she got a lot of Halloween cuteness. I will insert a picture here of the small that my sister Lindsay stitched and finished for hers. It was a really pretty Plum Street sampler. I don't know what the name of the pattern is, but here is Lindsay's. And then I will insert a picture here of what Lindsay got for her gift. And because Mom had stole her gnome pair, then when Lindsay picked this gift, nobody could steal it from her, which she was super excited about. So the only sad thing about retreat was my sister Leah, who lives in Florida, was supposed to come as well. And because of the hurricane, she lives near Tampa, so they had to evacuate, and she needed to stay behind to help her husband and kids get all their sentimental and like not replaceable stuff packed, and they needed to evacuate. So that the scary thing is where they evacuated to was Moorhaven, and they ended up having 2 different tornadoes when the hurricane started coming ashore. And the first tornado was like very close to where they were staying. They could hear it and heard all the wind. And then the second one that went touchdown was only like 2 blocks from where they were staying, and did a bunch of damage to some buildings and stuff. And that would have been super scary because they don't have basements or like really any good shelters to go to for both of those. Leah and the kids and her husband all had to like hunker down in a bathroom, and they were staying at like a RV type resort, so not even a very solid structure. So that would have been terrifying. So luckily they were okay. And Leah has like PTSD from wind noise, which I don't blame her at all. When they got home, they did have a little bit of damage to their house. Their porch was pretty much destroyed from a tree falling on it. They had some tree damage, a couple little roof leaks, but luckily their house was still standing. Didn't get water inside for the most part, and it didn't flood or anything, so very lucky for that. But she needed to stay behind, to help with that stuff, but we did miss her at retreat and wish that she could come. She did stitch a very beautiful piece that she had made for the Smalls Exchange, and it was her very first time that she'd finished, did her own finish. So she was really looking forward to being able to participate in that. So I will insert a picture of the design that she stitched and the way she finished it, because it's super cute. And it is like amazing for, like I said, this is her very first time fully finishing something by herself, because she's a very new cross stitcher, and so she was super proud of it, which she should be, because it's amazing. So I'll insert that picture here. Now I will go ahead and insert a few pictures of some of the models that Teresa had for her trunk show up at the pop-up shop. I'll insert some pictures of my favorite ones that she had on display here. I'll go ahead and show you my haul quick, and then at the end of the video, after I show you my haul, I will insert the pictures. I took pictures of, after the smalls exchange, everybody puts their smalls on the table, so we can go through and take pictures and see everything close up. So I always take pictures of all the smalls, because there was some really cute stuff made, and it gives you an idea of how to finish things a little bit differently than maybe you would think to otherwise. The other thing I want to say about retreat is we did, there was a lot of people that come around at retreat and give you gifts and little trinkets and, you know, all kinds of things that you get. I'm not going to show those because while I do know who gave some of them, sometimes you just leave, and when you come back, you've got something sitting there and they're not marked with who gave them to you. So I don't want to forget giving anybody any credit, but gorgeous and very thoughtful gifts. So thank you to everybody that brings those and gives them to everybody, because I know it's a lot of work because there was 100 people there, and but it's very much appreciated, and it's fun to see how creative some people get with their things. So yeah, so I will show you the haul that I got first from the pop-up shop at Retreat. I'm not going to pull these out, but on Friday night too, we played a game called Left, Right, Center, and we brought 3 skeins of floss that we played with, and if you've never played it, you roll, if you have 3 skeins of floss when you start, you roll 3 dice, and you have to do what each dice says with your floss. So you either have to pass it to the person on your right, pass it to the person on the left, put it in the center pot, or if there's a dot, you get to keep your own floss and it's safe. So the goal is you go around until the very last person, everybody has lost their floss to the pot in the middle, and there's only one person with a skein of, with floss left, and then they win the pot. It's hilarious and it's fun, and Lindsay actually won the pot of floss, so yay Lindsay. So what we did is the pot of floss that Lindsay won, in the pop-up shop, Kitten Stitcher was selling bags of Gentle Arts mystery thread packs. There were 5 skeins in each one, and they were limited edition skeins. So I bought several bags of those, and so did Mom and Lindsay. And then in our hotel room, we just opened them up, put them in a big pile along with all the threads that Lindsay won in the pot, and we took turns picking floss. So that's what this is here. I'm not going to take them out, but so we got some fancy flosses from our mystery bags and then the game that we played. So we took turns picking the colors that we wanted. So that was fun. Let's see, where should I start? I will start with one thing that I did get. Didn't buy a whole lot of patterns from the pop-up shop. I mainly bought fabric and like some finishing stuff. So I got some velveteen, and I believe this is maybe Dames of a Needle. I'm not quite sure because it wasn't marked, it just had the names. But I know it's not Lady Dots, so I think it's Dames of a Needle maybe. So this was Tangerine. This was Sea Glass. A lot of pretty fall colors. Concord, which is a really pretty purple. And then Pumpkin. And you can see the difference between Pumpkin and Tangerine there. And then I bought Lady Dots Velveteen, and I got Onion Skin, Berry Crush. That'd be pretty for Christmas. Chili, which is a pretty red. Blue Rescue. And then I got two of these because I like how they were kind of variegated. That's called Bells of Ireland. And I thought that'd be pretty for Christmas finishes. And then I got two Sterlings. It almost looks like one's a little darker than the other to me. One looks lighter, one looks a little darker. But those were the velveteens that I bought. And then this was the other zipper pull that came with a skeleton. I thought he was cute. Oh, and these are, oh, I should put it that way so you can see. They're the Moda fabric things. So I'm going to put him on a project bag. One of my Teresa Kogut ones. And then they had one of the giant quilted snowman needle minders from Riley Blake. I like these to hold your scissors. So I got one of him. And then there's a store in Amana that's a quilt store that they always add some cross-stitch stuff to for us when they know we're going to be in town. So this is what I got at the cross-stitch store. I bought a few fat quarters of fabric. I got this one with cute little Halloween cats dressed up, little witches. And I got this one to go with it because I thought that'd be a really cute project bag to try and make. And then I got a few fabrics that I thought would be good for finishing the backs of like little pillows. So I got this orange one with little stars. Got one with little bats. And this one was on clearance. It's a really pretty purple with black in it, almost like a batik type fabric. That one might even look good with that for fabric, like a bag. Those are the finishing fabrics I got. And then at the pop-up shop, again, I bought some fabric from, this piece was from FarmGirl. It's a Fiber on a Whim piece, and it's called Malachite. And this one is a really pretty, like, evergreen color. This one is a 32 count Belfast. Thought that was a really pretty green for Christmas design. And then I bought some fabrics from Teresa, Kitten Stitcher. This one is a 32 count Prim and Prissy in the light color. This is Opal, 32 count. This is a real pretty creamy neutral color. I'm trying to build up some of my, I don't have very many opalescent fabric, so I was trying to kind of get a few when I could see them. This one is a 36 count Starry Night, which is also opalescent. It doesn't say who the dyer is, so I'm not sure who the dyer is of these. Thought that'd be pretty for like a night, maybe like a winter Christmas scene that where Santa's flying. And the last opalescent one I got from her was a 36 count. It says Girl's Best Friend, and it's kind of like a grayish color with sparkles. So again, really pretty neutral. It's kind of a purpley, kind of the purpley gray color. And then the last piece of fabric I got from Kitten Stitcher was a 40 count. This is a fat half, and it's called Cargo Shorts. But I thought that would be cute for like vintage Halloween type stuff. But this is called Cargo Shorts, and considering there's like stripes and like brown stripes, I don't want to know what it's kind of a weird name, Cargo Shorts, and to be stained this way. It's like, I don't want to know what they were doing in their cargo shorts to get them to look that way. We'll leave it up to the imagination. And then the last three pieces of fabric I got were from the quilt store when we were there. So they, when they know we're coming, they get in a trunk show of Fiber on a Whim fabrics for us. And they had also got in a special, I can't remember who they're by, but a special trunk show of needle minders, because they try to get some things in that for the cross stitchers, so they know they'll be interested in. So I just bought some neutrals of Fiber on a Whim. This is a 40 count oatmeal fabric. That's pretty true there. Kind of a brown with some greens, kind of a greeny brown neutral. And then I got a 32 count Belfast linen in sand from Fiber on a Whim. I don't have a lot of 32 counts in like more neutral colors, so that's kind of why I was picking that. And then I got a 28 count linen in Old Gold. And same with my 28 counts. I don't have a lot of like real, so they're all very similar. I don't have like a lot of neutrals in colors like this in 32 and 28 count. And that is it for fabric. And then I have just a couple more. I guess I have one more piece. Sorry. I think I have to hiccup in every video. Oh, seriously. Okay. I think I'm done now. Maybe. So I did get a couple of patterns that I was going to share with you. But first, before I share those, I wanted to share this cute little ghost I found on Etsy. This Etsy seller, it's a felted ghost, and the Etsy store is called Needle Ghosts. And check him out. I just thought he was absolutely adorable. He's good size, about the size of my hand. But it's this really cute little felted ghost, and he's got his little cross stitch piece that very proud of it. Little ghost with pumpkins. But I just thought he was very cute. I don't know why I call it a he. It's probably a girl. Could be a boy. But he or she is very proud of their stitching. But the Etsy store is called Needle Ghosts, and they have several ghosts doing different things. Reading books, scary novels, watching videos. Cute store. So I'll put a link in the description. And then I wanted to share a few patterns that I got in The first, and then I also got a cross stitch kit. I've had this one for a while and I forgot to share it in my last video, but this one is gorgeous. So I wanted to share this kit. It's by Luca S. And it's called The Indian Princess and the Royal Tiger. But I thought she was beautiful, and you know how I am with tigers. I could stitch every tiger cross stitch known to exist. All big cats really, leopards, lions, tigers. Tigers are my favorite, but I just thought that was really pretty and needed it in my life. And then I placed an order with Not Forgotten Farm for a few patterns, and then I wanted to get, I want to learn how to punch needle and with my carpal tunnel, and I know Teresa Koget recommended this Smart Punch because it's an ergonomic one. I have a different punch needle, but this one is supposed to fit your hand better and be more ergonomic. So I wanted to get one of these to try punch needling to see if that would help be a little better on my carpal tunnel until I can get it fixed. So Not Forgotten Farm carries those, so that's why I ordered that one. And then I had to get a few patterns from her while I was ordering that. I have loved these two for a long time and had wanted them because their name just cracks me up and they're adorable. So the first one is Prunella Squash Bottom. And then her husband is the Reverend Gordon Squash Bottom. So I got those. And then she had a limited edition pattern called Farmhouse, Sweet Farmhouse that I ordered. And then I got the Bee's Knees because I thought that one was cute. That's what I got from Not Forgotten Farm. And then I saw on Stash and Load group this kit, and I had got one of those bat mirrors from Joann's, and when I saw this kit I thought this would be a really cute finish to do for that mirror. So I've never seen this one before. It's a Panic, or it's a Clart is the name of the company, and it's recommended by Pana. But I can't get that sticker off, but it's this spooky little witch with the moon and trees. So I thought that would be cute to do for the bat mirror. And it's a kit, comes with all the stuff. So I like that one. And then Suzette, the Primitive Stitcher, she had brought a few patterns, an envelope full of patterns, because if you're a cross stitcher, you know that if you've been, you know, have a stash that you've been building for years, sometimes you forget which patterns you already have, so you get duplicates. So she had done that a few times. So she brought an envelope full of patterns that she had accidentally got twice. And so the table that our table got to kind of go through those and pick out a few if you're interested in stitching them. So I actually picked out two out of the ones that she brought to share. And the first one is Stacy Nash Primitives December 25th Merry Christmas Pin Keep. I love that, it's so cute. So that'll be fun to stitch. And then the other one I got was Blackbird Designs Moments of Glad Grace. I love the sampler on the front. I love that bird in the middle. And then it has some other projects in it. You can do the bird box, which is adorable. And then some pillows. So this whole book is like so cute. But that little bird on the front, I love that little bird. He's so cute. So thank you so much, Suzette. Those will be really fun to stitch, and appreciate you sharing those with us. And then I placed an order with 123 Stitch because I had saw this pattern and I didn't have it and I loved it. It's by Foxwood Crossings, called It's Halloween. And it says, "It's Halloween. Lock your doors and turn out the lights, or ghosts and goblins will spook you tonight. Jump in your bed, pull the covers up tight, close your eyes until the morning is light." And it calls for the Weeks Dye Works Onyx, so I got the floss that it calls for. And then I went ahead and purchased the fabric that's recommended. It says it's recommended to be stitched on 28 count Cashel linen from Picture This Plus, called Cyprium. And I went ahead and bought it. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not, but I do have it just in case I decide to use it. Or I may pick something different, but if I don't use it for that, it will go in my stash for something else. But and then the last, I have two more things. Just yesterday or the day before, what's today? It had to be yesterday because we didn't get mail on Sunday. I got my next, I belong to the Silver Needles Little Help from Our Friends Stitching Circle, where you get 4 kits a year, and this was the kit we got this time. It's by Hello from Liz Matthews, and it's called A Stitcher's Tree. So I think that's really cute. And it's the full kit. And actually, for last year's Jingle Ball, I took a class. One of the classes at Jingle Ball last year was from Hello from Liz Matthews, and she shared how to make the trees. So I haven't made one yet, but I did watch her class. So hopefully that will help me be more little more familiar with how to finish it when that time comes. So very helpful. So it was really cute. I love that tree. And then the very last thing I got was from the Victoria Sampler, and they have been offering some exclusive patterns and designs, or they're bringing things back. So back in like August or September or something like that, they had offered this Spooky Treats pin cushion that you make into a drum, and they did pre-orders for it, and they just shipped it here in October. So that's what the full design looks like. And right now so if you go to their Facebook and you follow the Victoria Sampler, right now they have a 3-pack of patterns. It's the Pumpkin Patch, I think like a Trick or Treat sampler, and a maybe Stitchin Witches or Trick or something like that, where you can get all 3 designs as a bundle, or you can order individual patterns that they are offering right now. So I placed an order for the bundle, but it will hopefully be shipping anytime. So that's the last thing I got. So that is all I have to share with you. So other than I'm going to be inserting those pictures from the retreat smalls. But before I do that, I do want to thank everybody that is a subscriber and who is returned to watch my videos. It really means a lot to me, and I appreciate it so much. I love reading your comments when you have the chance to leave one, and I always do try to reply to those as I have time. And if you're new here, I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you found something to be inspired by. So I have a special video that will be going up. I think I'm going to post it on Halloween. I got one of the Fiberlicious Halloween boxes. My box came pretty crushed, but all the contents were fine. So I did an unboxing of that, and I think I'm going to schedule it to go up on Halloween, just to allow anybody else that maybe ordered that box a chance to get theirs and kind of see what's in it before they start seeing spoilers on YouTube. So look for that. I do have a few other special boxes and things coming, so I was able to get one of Autumn Lane Stitchery's mermaid boxes. They haven't shipped yet, so I'll do an unboxing of that when it comes. I think I got the Christmas countdown box from Colorado Cross Stitcher, so that will be, I don't know when those ship, but I have one of those coming. Is that it for boxes? Oh, and then Mo Sale Floss is doing, they started the beginning of the year where every month you could pay a little bit each month, and then you'll get a countdown to Christmas box in December. So I've been doing that, so I'll get one from Mo Sale, so I'll do a video on that when they get here. Hopefully my next update video will likely be probably around Thanksgiving or end of November. Hopefully we'll get a Stitch With Me video done sometime. And like I said, be sure to check my channel either tomorrow or Thursday for that special video with my sister Lindsay talking about her project bags that she's going to start selling. And we'll give you all the details and show you what bags she has available at the moment. I think that's it. So be sure to check out the Smalls Exchange pictures that I'll be inserting here. And I hope to see you again really soon. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and get lots of stitching in. Bye, everybody. Okay, now like a little football. That's cute.
Which one? The box they had the house on it.